Hey, I don't know why I'm holding on to that like it's a fucking like a bike. Ding ding. Hey yo, what's good, y'all? Normally I would have some sort of thing to say where it's like I will then say this line, this line, this line. This is where winning matters. Episode 8. Normally that's what I would do. However, instead of going through that, I want to announce here. This weekend, so this is coming out on Thursday. This weekend is World Domination. First of all, check my World Domination predictions. They will be linked. They're in the channel. They'll be linked. Whatever. We are going to do a live stream because I want to build a live stream for the UK fan base to kind of be together on. So we're going to not stream the event, mother fudger. I'm not streaming the event, but I don't know if you've seen like Mike P's done it before. I've seen like versions of it for like UFC and whatnot, where it's that battle rap companion, and I want to make a spot for the UK side of things just to come in and just talk about the battles. If I can try and work getting people on and just shooting the breeze, I will. But I that's something that I want to be able to have work out, and we just sit and just somewhere to where we can all just get together and talk about the event as it unfolds, because we know the time zones for us is a bastard. So that's going to be from this Saturday, probably the Sunday too. But let's talk about episode 8, where winning matters.
I must not give in to these fantasies of weakness. Doubtless this is some charm laid on me by an evil shaman, evil sorcerer. Only the chase has meaning. It's meaning.
Yeah. Keep running. Yo. Look, I'm in the outback where it's spooky. Wildcats still pursue me like owls do to the rats and the clouds do when I'm moody. Proud dads for Suzukis. You backed out and amuse me. I'm good hair from I tear your whole crown flat. From I'm in the outback with no neighbors. Giant snakes and the gators. You feel fear in your veins ever since the moment you came in. Heat raises the stakes and big meat is the fragrance. I reign here from a day to doubt that. From I'm in the outback with my chest out, I'm the best out. Who's next? Put you through the test, do the chew your neck out. When you eat through tube and bed bound, from I eat mountains for breakfast. Keep rounds in these
Yo, shout out to everybody out there who's watching this. Subscribe to the channel. He's doing big things. My man Cammy. It's your man Caps, aka Angry Fan Man. We up out of here, man.
The week itself was a fine week. It's one of those that because of what happened in the second block of there was a lot of people that were coming and going, which was annoying because it was the first time using that studio, and it would have been good to have everyone to stay, everyone there to support, everyone to be around. It was just unfortunate. So as a week, fine. Like Gast Buff was great. And Bowski did everything that he could. McCoy, we'll get into it, but like it's one of those where I see why they put Lefty versus Sean Cray in there to try and like appease and have people together and keep the watch time and all that. I do understand that. Like that wasn't a bad call from Premier Battles. It was probably the right call. But you know, hindsight's 2020, and maybe there's something that I'd maybe say, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can, you know, there's something else that could be done to maybe kind of make that feel kind of less like just like a make it more streamliney essentially. Yeah, we'll run through some ideas or something like that. So we'll let's talk about the first battle. I mean, gas buff theory. Like, shout out Bowstall, baby. Bowstall, baby. A little behind the scenes here. They're about to get ready, and Bowski's getting mic'd up, and we're all stood around. You see where we are positioned. You see I'm positioned kind of adjacent to gas buff. On the other side, I'm with Bowstall, and Bowsk feeling like unwell, sweating, poor guy. Was like, come here, it's Bowstall, baby, come here. Can you spit this ball for me? When it comes to when I say this, can you say that? And I'll go, okay. Like I panic. Like, yeah, okay, whatever, Bowski. Like, And it's just the fact that we are stood on where the battle is happening. He's getting himself sorted, and I don't even have a minute to be like, I don't want to have to be against Gast or be involved in the battle. But he literally whispered it to me, and I'm like, yo, this is sick, man. Here, okay, I will say a bar for you. So the battle unfolds. Gasbuff's doing what he does, and Bowski's, you know, entertaining as always, and it's just fun to watch and to listen, to hear what he's saying. Then I get to the second round, and the second round, he is going off, like they're both going off as a corn, you know, and then Bowski chokes. Now, Bowski happens to choke, I think, a line or two before. It's to set me up to then say something. I can't even remember what I was supposed to say. It was just a bar like that. And so he says that I've been waiting on tender hooks so I don't fuck it up. So I'm like, whoa. And that was a part of me going, would I say it too loud? Am I going to go Rah! Versus what it should be, or how do we didn't even get a chance to go over how I'm supposed to say it. But he actually chokes and forgets that part. So I am like, I completely dodged the bullet. And then in the third round, you know, it was just freestyling. Bowski and Gasbuff was just continue to be on point and a professional when it comes to how his material comes across, crafted, and everything's put together neatly. There's not much else to be said. One was sick, the other one was sick. Yeah, that would have been one of the things I would have said at the start of the intro. But fine enough battle, and you know what, a win over Bowski, even if it's on a tournament or not, is still a good look. So salute Gasbuff and salute Bowski for being the fucking man and pulling up anyway. What a G. Enigma versus McCoy. Enigma is just kind of stomping on these people. I kind of called that one. I kind of called that. But I also thought McCoy was going to do well. McCoy was someone to watch out for, and you know, and Enigma was very much saying a lot and saying nothing before, but now he's saying things which outside context doesn't make sense, but now he's actively putting things together in, okay, the point that you're trying to make. And one of these things where one was super on point, one person was more elaborate, was all over the John, pause was everywhere, and the other person was insular and hiding and not wanting to be in the situation. And it was very, very evident that Enigma was just kicking his ass. It was unfortunate, and I hate to be so abrupt with it and being like, this is what happened, but it kind of is what happened. And they say quite a lot that they're trying to give McCoy pointers and where to go, and nothing's working for now. It's just got to be a reflection on what he can do, because there's something in there that he can do. He just needs to figure it out. So that for me is another 30 ball for Enigma. Enigma and Gasbuff go through some of the clearest wins, victories. Like, salute to them, honestly. You know, I wouldn't be mad at them two battling on the 6th. I don't know when. This point forward, good folks, I know nothing that happens. I know nothing. So let's see what happens. Now let's talk about something else to do with this tournament. Hey, so because this is coming out on Thursday and not coming out on the Monday usually before, I feel like we've set up this kind of little routine of the Where When the Matter recap, and then like the thing that happens, I do the recap, and on the Monday night there's a stream. You know, like, it's just something we've kind of inadvertently become part of Premier Battle's timetable, I guess, right? So because I wasn't there, I was able to like just watch the stream and maybe take some notes if there's anything I might have missed. And Lauren is so good at Lauren is just a presenter at heart. Like, he knows how to get to the point and poke and prod just enough. Where I think where Lauren could like could be more in there. Like he still gets whilst being nice, still gets the same answers. Like he's poking and prodding. So I respect that a lot. Subscribe to, how the fuck do we say it? Halcyson Show. Halcyson Show. It's HALCYCON Show. With Lauren. And you know, and Crash is such a great addition to that. And shout out to them for being so consistent every week. Like literally, you can rely on them every week to be there. And I've been trying to keep up with it, but I fell on well. So salute to them. But as I was watching the show, it became a discussion of why this week and maybe a little last week, as much as we've got the battles, there's like 28 minutes worth of battles, 30 minutes worth of conversation, or not even conversation, 30 minutes worth of content that's not to do with the battles. And that's fair. That's fair to say. If you've got the evidence, like if you're doing the timestamps and all, that's fair to say. And I respect that. I have to say I am one of the benefactors, the beneficiary of the Premier Battles promo on the streams. I've definitely had my face all over it. I think when it comes to the second round, and there was a lot going on with not many people around, so that they didn't get the chance to get all of these conversations and all that sorted, because we have to remember, as much as we are talking about it in the perspective of it happening here and now, that happened, what is this, March now? That happened about 4 months ago, like that happened November or like end of October, like that is, it's about 4 or 5 months ago that happened. So it's so hard to then go back and get that footage from the moment and bring it now, and you know, like it's an awkward one for sure, right? And when it comes to like bringing the stuff that is relevant, you're making stuff that is almost half a year old relevant to now. And getting people to pretend is difficult. It is really difficult. So I commend Premier Battles for being like, you know what, we haven't quite got the amount for the whole hour. Let's put something in for that. Now, where I think Premier Battles have kind of where they went wrong, but 2020 is hindsight is clear, and it's that phrase. You hear me? Sean Cray versus Lefty is a good battle, and it's very much the return of Sean Cray after the Bobby Rex battle, and it's like, unless they were going to say, oh, we got Sean Cray battle here, and at the very end being like announcing, and I'm throwing it out there, I have no reason to know this, I have to say this because I just have a feeling. Sean Cray versus Anderson Burris secret battle world dom, and then you put Sean Cray's battle in the stream, and it's a new announcement, and then within the hour King of the Dot release a trailer and say, like, let's just say hypothetically, right, that would be the reason I think you would put this battle on for the stream. Now, my belief, what I think they could have done, I think there's two things I think they could have done. They had this event in what you call it, they had this event in December, and as I had the event in December, they ended up having this, they had a bunch of battles, but then they released all the battles within January, which I thought was bizarre, because in my mind this event was to kind of recoup what was missing, you know what I mean? Like, to then go back and say, we have these battles here that haven't been released yet, they've only been on Patreon, let's start streaming now. And then at least it kind of makes the battle, so like, if we got Sean Cray versus Lefty as a first time upload, hell yeah, that would be great. If we got that as a first, okay, you're going to get this round, since we've got World Domination next weekend, you're going to get the full battle. Boom, new battle, and we got a round of it. Cool. Or Black Tea versus Nazi Talks. These guys here, boom, you take that. Have that one, have a round here. That's coming out next week. Since the boys at World Dom, make sure you get the World Dom pay-per-view and all that. That would have been cool. Or you get your Bobbies, Bobby Bizzle and Briggsy, or Bloodstro, Shotty, and whoever, right? They could have just watched the battle. They could have sat and watched the battle, where it's you know, it's a little hard to do that as a setup, I guess, when you're in the studio. But they really, in my mind, they could have went, okay, we'll even do a bit of a stream thing, and like also, and then have the footage and then release. We'll just, because it'd be so good. I was on about this before, because I was watching Soul versus Ilmac. Shout out Rap Redux, did a whole thing there on Twitter with him. I'd love to get their perspective on Soul versus Ilmac, like what it took to book that battle, and go through some Premier Battle history, and you know, and the references in the moment, and what makes that battle so special, and how it's lasted so long, in like, that's a timeless battle. Like, if you're a new fan and you're clicking on to see all of this, and you're like, oh, who the hell is that? He's a killer. Oh, that's Soul. Yeah, Soul has done versus Matter versus Bobby. He's done this, he's done that. Ilmac, a legend. Why is he a legend? Why is Ilmac falling out there? This is 2019. And then you go back and go, oh, we got all these. 2018, I think it was. Maybe 2017. It's a long time ago. And we got all this going on. What? And then that would make someone go back and watch it. It's maybe a bigger conversation. Is this serving the casual fan? Or is this serving the fans of battle rap that just aren't watching all the battles? Like, how is what they're doing, is what this episode format, which has been very exciting, and you know, someone like me that follows every week, is this working? That's a bigger conversation that I don't even know if I'm willing to even hazard to guess if it's working or not, because even I wouldn't know how to search that and understand if it is or if it isn't, or a comparison of when someone did something similar and it worked or didn't. So that might be a conversation that had to be or even on the podcast or whatever, between like Lauren asking Briggsy and Stro the questions, like, is this working? How many new fans have we got? How many people are here? What it is doing is putting eyes that wouldn't always have watched these guys' battles on them. So like even like some Red Wolf battles or anything like this, it's putting eyes on these guys for what's going on. Could I have Yaneth versus Red Wolf? That would have been good to have on the stream. Why not? But like I said, I see why Sean versus Lefty, and the thing is with that battle as well, just to kind of go back on this point, is Sean versus Lefty has been clipped up so much, and just like, you know, the Sean Cray machine, that I see that battle, I've seen that battle I've seen it everywhere for a while. So to then see it again, I feel like I've seen the battle, then I've seen the clips, and then I've seen the battle through the clips. To have it one more time, I don't like that. Maybe could have been a different battle. Like I think you could have had something community based, watching Ilmac versus Soul, even Dialect versus Loso, like something from there, or having Tony D versus Serious Jones and going, what a car crash, and then talking about that, or you know, because we tried to get Iron Solomon, feed us information. There's so many things about Premier Battles that's so interesting, and that they try and it doesn't work, and how they adjust, and the business, and you know, like little things, like if we're doing storyline stuff almost when it comes to like storylines through tournament brackets, give us a little lore, give us something that I can go back on. Yo, they said this. Even describing, like, I only know of it from afar, the discussions between Shotty Horror and Lux back in 2018, that conversation, like, give us that lore. 2019, I think. Give us that lore of like what was going on here, how this was happening, and just the interesting stories. Like I remember in the first show, we had a bit of a round table talk afterwards. It was me, Dojo, Frost, Bobby Rex, Kick Nelly, And I remember Frost being drunk as hell. I remember him being so wasted. And like, we had a rem discussion about that. We could have got the behind the scenes footage. Now, I will say this, and this is probably partly my fault. We very briefly did Battle Rap Tic-Tac-Toe, and I don't think I chased the footage myself. Like, I probably could have got that and probably edited it up. And I'm still fine doing it. I don't know. It ended up being Yaneth versus LS Dean, and you could guess what happened. So like, maybe that's something I could put in that is to do with the tournament and all that. And if it worked, whatever they're happy with. But like, we could have got like behind the scenes footage and just little outtakes and things like that. And I think. Right concept, put a battle out that you already have. I think Sean versus Lefty was probably the wrong battle, just in my opinion. But if you are trying to give the lore of, oh, can we put Sean Crane here because he's a secret battle for King of the Dot versus Anderson Burst, can we announce that on stream? If it is that's a Hail Mary. The only reason I say that is because there's 7 battles day 1 and 8 battles day 2, and King of the Dot always does even number battle events. Always have. And if there's one less, there's usually people. And King of the Dot are fucking terrible for always having these secret fucking battles. Ilmac versus Jin, for example. Disaster versus Hollow, for example. They're terrible for always having secret battles. And then you end up having this false hope of, oh, there's probably one at every single event. And it just adds to the lore, right? So I do think there's going to be one, and Sean Cray versus Anderson Burst just makes so much sense to me. Shout out Dojo, was doing an episode with them about Battle Rap Corner or Dojo's Corner, like that's fire. I love that. I just think there's something going on, and we're gonna figure it out. But that's at least my thoughts on it. I don't think it's Premier Battle's fault. I just think maybe it was a wrong battle of the moment. And if you didn't have this set up, and it's like even Gas said on the stream, like it was 2 weeks before we make the episodes. Like there's a 2-week gap. It's made and prepared. Maybe pull some footage from different places, or you could even have a best of compilation or something. But I just think the idea of that battle there probably wasn't the one. But if they asked me in the moment, I said, yeah, do that because it just come out. But on reflection, maybe not the right one. Let me know what you guys think about that. Just to reiterate what I'm saying at the very start, this weekend we're going to do this battle rap companion as like the battle rap friend or whatever you want to call it. I want to get all UK battle rap together, and we want to sit and talk Premier Battles. No, I'm sort of talking World Dom, and we'll watch the pay-per-view together just on a live stream. There'll be no audio from it, but you'll have me. I'll try and get people on or something if I can to discuss it, work it out, all that jazz. So there we go. I appreciate you guys. Episode 8 of Where Winning Matters.